Hello, it's Rob Moore here from Progressive. Thank you very much for watching this video. Listen, I'm really excited because in this video, I'm going to be introducing someone who's become a very, very good friend of mine, who's mastered the art of investing other people's money, and he's mastered the art of doing deals himself, buying, flipping, making profits on the rental income, the cash flow, the equity. All of the deals he's been doing are with other people's money. And by the way, how does that feel to make money using other people's money?
It feels really good.
Yeah. Okay, great. So in a moment, I'll be introducing Peter to you. I just want to set the scene a little bit for you. So if you'd like to make more cash flow, more income, if you'd like to make more passive income, and if you'd like to be able to raise finance for any deal you find a lot easier and quicker and faster than before, you'd like to learn where to find the money, you'd like to learn how to influence the potential JV partners to give you the money or give you the money for the deal, then this video, and if there are any other videos linked to this series, is going to be right up your street. So as you can see here, the Progressive JV BYOB blueprint. So what is that? Well, this is the joint venture Be Your Own Bank blueprint. And in another video that I have in this series, maybe it's on this page, we actually reveal to you the whole blueprint on this here whiteboard with these coloured pens. We're really in the 2000s now at Progressive. So we actually reveal the whole blueprint. There's a 7-step blueprint of everything you need to check, all the things you need to have in place, where to find the deal, how to package the deal, how to overcome JV partner objections, where to find the JV partners, all those kind of things. And then breaking off from the 7 points are all the details that go within it. Now, we've created this blueprint, we've trademarked it, and I think that when people take this blueprint, use it as a checklist and a template, they're going to make significantly more money in property very quickly. So let me introduce Pete then. So this is Pete Iwaniszewski, and I've been literally for about 10 minutes before this video practicing Pete's surname. Did I get it right?
You got it right, yeah.
Good. So how long have we been working together? How long have you've been in the Progressive community?
I met you guys in 2009 at one of your one-day events, and since then I've been involved in the VIP programme, crewed at your events, and went from there. So a good couple of years now. Okay.
So give us your quick story. Give us what you were doing before property, how many properties you've bought, the overview of your portfolio.
Before property, sort of pre-07, I left university. I worked in recruitment and in a sales job before that. Since then, I was investing in property seriously since 07, and I've bought now 18 properties, and I've been a full-time investor since 2009.
Okay, how old are you?
28.
28, and so you got into property, how old were you when you got into property properly?
Properly, I was about 24, 25. Yeah. So that was
sure. So a lot of people might be watching this thinking, well, you must have been given 10, 100 million, zillion pounds by your dad or something like that. You must have had it left in a will. How can someone of your age, invest and buy all these deals? So just start talking to us about the joint ventures that you've done.
Yeah, well, that was it. I mean, when I started, it was mainly using the buy, refurb, remortgage tactic, which I used significantly for the first sort of year or so. And then as lending got tighter and things have happened, that's when the joint ventures come in. I started to package deals, and that's what made me grow my portfolio from there.
Okay, so when you say package deals, just explain briefly what that means.
Well, through getting a lot of leads through, more than I could physically use myself, I set up my own network and then began to sell leads and sell deals. And then through there, as a natural progression, I still do that, but I also decided through joint ventures to monetize some of them properties myself as well.
Okay, so it sounds like I've got a few things to grill you on, if that's all right, and I'm sure you don't mind me grilling Peter here. So you've got deals you're selling, the network you've set up, and then obviously these no money down, raising other people's money to do deals. So before we do that, what's the snapshot of your portfolio? How many have you got? What's the net cash flow per month? That kind of thing.
18 properties. The net cash flow is just over 4,000 a month.
And that's after all costs?
That's after all costs, yeah. Okay. And the value's roughly 1.6 million.
Okay. So what do you do with all your spare time then?
Retired
at 26 years old?
No, that's really why I set up. I mean, I spent the first year of going full-time, doing a lot myself, and that's really why I set up the network, came on your course to meet more people doing the same thing.
Sure.
And from them, now setting businesses around property,
so you're looking to take it to the next level. And actually, Pete and I have done a joint venture together, the joint venture Be Your Own Bank Blueprint series, we've created a brand new audio program for the UK market, which we're offering at a very, very competitive price, and I'm really excited about that. It's not for this video. There's a lot of content that Pete and I want to give you over the course of the next few videos, but when that does become available, keep your eye out for that. So Pete, then, joint ventures. Let's go straight into joint ventures. So you've created about 4,000 net cash flow. You've got a good portfolio you could retire on, yet you want to do more and you want to do more deals. You clearly have got money, but you must. Why do you want to use other people's money?
It's not always about the money. It's the leverage of other people's time, other people's opposing skill sets. Okay. That's the beauty of joint ventures and what can take it to a new level.
Sure. Okay. So give us a couple of real world examples. And just before you do, I know you've done the two types of JVs. You have the sophisticated investor types and then the non-sophisticated investor types, which in another video we reveal on the Blueprint. So Pete, if you could explain one of each, because they're very different the way you do them. Approaching friends, family, biz ops seekers is different to VCs and angels and people like that. So let's maybe do a non-sophisticated JV you've done first.
The non-sophisticated JV I've done was one I did with my sister. I'm a big believer that even if it's a family member or an angel investor, there should always be, a business plan there, and I believe you get treated better and more professionally if you've got a plan in place. That came from the advertising I do for properties myself. And
okay. So if I could just pause you there again, just to make sure we catch this. So you do advertising yourself to find deals.
Yeah.
What's that? Finding them through agents, a bit of leafleting,
newspapers.
Do you do any internet lead generation?
Yeah, internet lead generation on my website.
Okay, so you'd found a couple of deals, and you thought, well, it'd be nice for someone to finance these so I could make a profit. Now, when you say it was your sister, how did you, because I know a lot of people watching this probably have got family members, but are probably scared to approach them or that kind of thing. Sounds like you did it very professionally. So just tell us how you approached your family, and then we'll talk about the numbers.
Well, I did it, like I say, through a business plan that was there that I wanted to give out to them, but I did use the selling through, not to tactic. So I actually approached my dad first. We were having a general conversation, sort of asked me how my week had been, told him about a particular property I had that I was going to package and sell on, but was looking to find. And I didn't actually realise even at that point that my sister had the money.
Right, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, because I hear that story quite a lot. A lot of people raise JV finance, either non-sophisticated or sophisticated routes. And actually it's not always directly, and they don't always know the money's there. John Woolley did it. He's on the YouTube videos where he was looking for finance. He's now got 50,000 net profit from his portfolio per year cash flow. He's just bought a brand new Audi TT, and he was just telling people about the deals that he wanted to do, and through someone he met someone who gave him the money. So it's very powerful. This whole business plan thing, some people might be thinking, well, I haven't got a business plan, or do you need like a business plan that's that big that you take to the bank? Sort of tell us how you structured your business plan.
For this particular occasion, it was a simple. I knew that if I gave something too complicated to either my dad or my sister, it wouldn't really wash. So I basically had on there the money I needed, the timescale I needed, their exit, the risks, the warts and all. And as we spoke about before, being upfront with everybody, giving them the worst case scenario, gives them confidence in you that you're revealing everything that is there, that will go right, but potential pitfalls that maybe mean they might not get their money for a little bit longer.
So you're also assessing their possible downside as well as just the benefits. How long was the business plan? How big was it?
That was just a page, a simple
just a one page. And that works very often, does it, for non-sophisticated investors?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So talk us through the numbers on this particular JV then.
That particular JV was a 2-bedroom flat which was bought for 25,000. It was sold to another investor through my network for 41, and after all costs, the property made £14,000 profit. And
that was cash profit, back cash. Yep. Okay, and how did you split that between you and your non-sophisticated sister?
That was done on I gave her a percentage of the profit, so I offered her 20% of the profit rather than what I would have done.
Sure. So that was how you did it.
Yeah.
And I suppose if you'd have paid per month, which you could have done with a sophisticated investor, they'd have probably made a bit less.
They would have done, and I was confident with that deal. I already had the buyer in place really before I bought the property, so I knew if I lent it on a monthly basis that she wouldn't get as much, and I was feeling nice on that day. So.
Well, that's nice of you, isn't it? Okay, great. Well, blood is thicker than water. And I guess your family now and people around your family might be a little bit more interested in JVing with you in the future.
Definitely, yeah. Once you've done that one, I've now got people coming to me, friends of friends.
And have you found that? I mean,
yeah,
you know what it's like in property, and you probably do too. People around you can be very negative
yeah.
and drag you down. Have you found, as you've done a couple more deals and a couple of successful joint venture partnerships, people are all of a sudden like asking you now and approaching you?
Approaching, because a lot of people at the moment have got money in the bank that's not doing an awful lot. So yeah, they're definitely coming to me now, which is good.
Sure. Okay. So you also set up this network you've referred to a lot of times. So you run your own property networking event.
Yes.
Okay. Is that something you've been doing for a long time?
We've been doing it now a year. That was with somebody I met through the VIP program.
Yeah.
Just coming up, just over a year now. So yeah. So,
and is that something that you think you need to be an uber professional and spend thousands of pounds investing in?
Not at all. I mean, people say to me, you know, we've tried it, only a couple of people turned up. I mean, we get now probably 25 a month. It is growing as we introduce speakers and go down that road. It's going to grow more. But no, I'd just say to people, stick with it. And even if you get 10 like-minded people in a room,
it's better than none.
That's better than none. And
more
that's
friends than I've got.
Yeah, me too. But they'll know 10, who all know 10, and you're getting your word out there more rather than...
And, you know, we've taught a lot of people at our VIP program and everywhere else, go set up your own property networking event. A lot of people don't do it because they look at our events with hundreds of people in and they compare it to that. But, you know, my good friend Justwant Ray and his lovely wife Sylvia, they said, well, I don't want to go to central London or Leeds. I want to set up a property meet where I live in Berkshire. And of course, when the Berkshire meet was started, everyone was like, well, where's Berkshire? What's Berkshire meet all about? Now it's the biggest property networking event in the UK. So if you set up your own network, or even it's just a little local landlord meet, then you've got people to joint venture with, they'll see you as the expert, they'll look up to you, and of course you've got people to sell your deals on to as well. Yeah. So do you sell most of your deals back through your network? I've
actually found people through my network, new people through that who've come, in one occasion it was their first buy-to-let, so it was nice to be able to help them on the ladder with a heavily discounted deal, so it was good.
Okay, and roughly how many deals do you package, i.e. sell onto your network every month?
I was doing at the time, you know, a couple a month. It's growing now to sort of five a month.
5 a month?
Yeah.
And roughly what do you charge per deal?
It was charging 2%, however.
If you watched one of our videos before, hence why Peter's laughing, I was kind of poking him to charge a bit more, so you upped your price.
At the time now we charge a fixed fee. So.
Yeah. Okay, so that's roughly £10,000 to £15,000 per month that Pete's generating, just passing on leads and deals he probably wouldn't normally keep himself. Then he's got these joint ventures, which is using other people's money to make profit, either flipping them or buying and holding. 28 years old, and I genuinely believe that you can do the same too. So, Pete, if we could talk about a sophisticated investor you've had, and then at the end we'll give you some more tips on how you can joint venture and raise other people's money.
That was a particular chap I met at the Berkshire property meet. Again, that was somebody I met. We didn't really talk about, I got to know him personally first, and it was only on sort of the second or third occasion we started talking figures. And
that's actually a strategy now, isn't it? You know, we've
Definitely.
created essentially a blueprint, a script, a strategy on how you best sell to sophisticated and non-sophisticated investors. We've got that as part of our program, and there's a right and wrong way of doing it, and you have to take a few more meetings with a sophisticated investor, and if you try to sell to them too early, they'll just back off.
Yeah, that was it. So I met him. It went from first to second to third meeting, and that took, again, it was the same business plan in a little bit more detail, as you'd expect probably. And that was, we've done buy-to-let joint ventures where we bought a property, we had a timescale we were going to keep it for, and then 50-50 cash flow, 50-50 capital appreciation and costs.
And they put the money straight into the deal, they bought the property?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it deposit or cash?
That particular one was deposit. However, with this same person now, he's now become somebody I'm going to be doing cash joint ventures with as well.
And you can choose either way depending on your exit strategy, on whether you want them to fund the whole deal or whether you want them to fund part of the deal. Because they fund part of the deal, they can fund more deals and it's less risk to them. But if they fund the whole deal, then obviously, you know, you could be a quick bit, you can have a quicker turnaround, but at the same time you may be paying more money back. So in this one, are you paying them back per month? How's the JV partner making their money?
That particular one was bought as deposit, and we're splitting, like I say, everything 50-50 monthly.
Right, so he's not looking for kind of you to monthly pay him a percent or two?
No, we're looking for actual cash flow, 50% on the appreciation of the property, doing a joint venture in that way.
So your time and skills to find, their money 50-50.
Yeah.
And Was it important to have an exit strategy with these sophisticated
Definitely.
investors?
That's one of the biggest points, is letting them know, talking about the exit, how long you want to keep it for.
Yeah.
Some people want to keep them for a couple of years, some people want to keep them indefinitely. So being upfront with all of that and showing them all the pitfalls that could happen, but the positives as well. And if you all know about the joint venture and you know the timescales, then there'll be no problems. It's when it's a bit loose that it can cause issues.
I understand. And one of the things I've learned with sophisticated investors especially, other than say risk and security, exit strategy stroke time frame, that's probably the most important thing that they want to know. In this blueprint that we reveal in one of the other videos you may be able to access from here, we reveal our CREST model. And the CREST model, C-R-E-S-T, are the 5 things that the JV partner is looking to appease in their mind or tick off on their list, probably unconsciously, for you to do a deal with them. And the E on that CREST is exit strategy. So was the JV partner the sophisticated one? Because a sophisticated investor, you might think, he's got a lot of money, got a lot of knowledge, might be difficult to deal with, might be a bit nervous dealing with someone like that. How did he perceive your deal? Did he think you got a good discount? Does he perceive you as someone who's knowledgeable in property?
Yeah, I mean, it's building the trust to start with, and once you've built the trust up with that person, you can. And people say to me, well, I haven't bought any properties yet. And once you've bought a few, you get more confidence, and that can be another strategy you can use. But even if you're new to the game, by doing things like defining your area, there's a lot of knowledgeable people out there in property. They're looking for you to know your stuff, obviously, and knowing your area, knowing where you're buying is very valuable, and that builds trust with the people, and that works from there.
I can 100% agree with that. I've just literally come off yesterday from running our 4-day masterclass, and there are a lot of beginner investors in there spending 4 days learning new strategies. And actually, I know, because I've been in the fortunate position of training over 100,000 people, I'd have to be an idiot not to work out what works and what doesn't. And a big part of the challenge for people is not the strategies, but it's the mindset or their belief in themselves. And so a lot of new people always sit back and think, well, I haven't got many deals, I haven't got much experience. Here's a few things on that. Number one, a lot of JV partners are looking for you, they're looking to leverage you, control you. They'll put their money in, but they want control of the deal. And so they're actually looking for you to have passion, enthusiasm, to be rejection proof, much more than if you'd bought 10 deals. The next thing is they're probably looking for yield. And so you can prove in your local area that you invest in that the yield is probably higher than where they live in Kensington or Chelsea. So the fact that you invest, even if you haven't been doing it very long, in a different area to them can be of massive benefit. The third thing is they all have a lot of pains at the moment. People have a lot of cash, are getting nothing in the bank. The stock market's so volatile, business is difficult for people, it's doom and gloom out there. And even those who have money, they're finding it very difficult to get good returns, and it's a risky environment. So being able to give them property propositions, whether you've done one before or not, a lot of it's just in your language and confidence, which is all revealed in the blueprint. In one of the sections in the blueprint, we cover selling without selling, we cover under the radar influence, and we cover social proof. And those 3 things are tricks, linguistics, NLP, embedded commands, painting pictures, mind reads, objection overcomers. They're all the things that teach you, whether you're a complete beginner or not, to sell and convince the JV partner to invest with you wherever you're at right now. And I think that's one of the most important things. I mean, we spend probably 30% of our trainings working on the mindset and the selling and the negotiation and the influence techniques. Because you can have all the other 6 parts of the blueprint in place, but if you can't actually convince the person to invest with you, no matter how experienced you are, you have no deal. When Mark and I joint ventured, 5-6 years ago, all I had was, I don't even know what I had. I was excited, I was enthusiastic, I was passionate. I had no money, I had no history of money, I didn't know anything about property. I'd read 3 books and I was just churning out the language. Mark had hundreds of thousands, probably millions of pounds that he was sat on. He had way more experience than me in property, but we went as a 50-50 joint venture on everything. And it wasn't my experience or knowledge. And that was, I obviously added a lot of value to Mark in other areas. Pete, have you got anything else you'd say before we just tie up the video and maybe look at what else people can learn through doing joint ventures?
Pretty much to reiterate what you said, that whether you got experience or not, you can go out there and do these joint ventures. Some people are looking for experience that you'll get from going out there and doing it.
Sure.
Others are looking, like you say, for just passionate, enthusiastic individuals who are willing to work hard and present. And you can present value in so many ways. It's not just how many properties you've got. It's, like I say, knowing your area, knowing really what you're talking about and what you can offer that person.